What? Dude, you just said something very racist. Like, you're like, oh, well, that's okay. We can say that because it's true. What? It's a trope like anything else, right? It looks like Matt Walsh is having a real hard time over white guy tacos. Yeah. It's pretty serious.
Kamala Harris and Tim Walz put out a very weird video yesterday. They sat down and I guess pretended to have dinner together or something. And I don't know what the point of the video was, but I guess the point was to show us that, oh, they're real people, just like you and me. Oh, look, they're eating a meal. I eat meals. They're just like me. I should vote for them. This is the quality I'm looking for in a leader. I want to know that this is someone who eats food. But so maybe that was the point. I don't know. But here's the video that Tim Walz posted to his social media accounts. Let's watch.
Like I have white guy tacos and
what is
like
that?
black,
like mayonnaise and tuna? What are you doing?
pretty much ground beef and cheese.
That's
and
okay. Do you put any flavor in it?
No.
Oh.
Here's the deal.
That would be my exact reaction too, because I like spice in my tacos. But it's still funny because I know people that do not like spice in their food, and that's also okay. But I just think it's so funny how much Matt is about to overblow this very innocuous and very non-offensive thing. He's trying to manufacture some outrage. It's kind of amazing.
No, they said to be careful and let her know this, that black pepper is the top of the spice level in Minnesota, you know.
I'm the first vice president, I believe, who has ever grown chili peppers.
I'm trying to expand my food knowledge.
You know, we've got some cantaloupes. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so now most people seem to be focused on the fact that this is so awkward and fake and lame, but everyone's skipping over the more important point, which is that a presidential candidate just casually dropped anti-white racism in the middle of what was supposed to be a lighthearted video.
Really, Matt? Really? Seriously, the reason why people are glossing over a thing that you're trying to manufacture outrage for is because it's not actually offensive. Like, if you're white and you're offended by that, you need to sit with that for a little bit, and you need to think why you're offended by that, because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous why any white person would be upset about white guy tacos.
You know, Tim Walz says that he makes white guy tacos, and Kamala says, what is that, mayonnaise and tuna? Like, that is anti-white racism.
There is no such thing as anti-white racism. It's a term. It's a made-up term made by the right to defend themselves against their actual racism. I mean, there's racism on the left, too. Don't get me wrong. But we know where it's thriving currently.
That's what that is. And if you don't believe that, right, if you think that I'm overstating the case, all right, well, just imagine it the other way. Imagine a black guy says to Donald Trump, I make black guy tacos. And Donald Trump says, oh, what is that, like fried chicken and watermelon? Maybe sprinkle some Kool-Aid powder over top? Am I right?
Boy is about to double down, and then double down again, and then double down some more on this rant he's about to go on. And it's mind-boggling and hilarious because he's so fucking fragile. It's mind-blowing and hilarious, but yeah.
How do you think everybody would react to that? What do you think the reaction would be? Nuclear meltdown. Literally. I mean, they would probably shoot a nuclear missile at Donald Trump for that. They would execute him via nuclear attack.
No, they would not send a nuclear weapon to Trump if he said something that he said that, because he has said far worse, far more outrageous things, calling people coming from south of the border murderers and rapists and just bad people. It's ridiculous. And no one nuked him. I mean, plus, does Matt know what a nuclear weapon is and what it would do? Like, it's not a targeting. You're not targeting one person. You'd be targeting like a population of people. What a fucking idiot.
If you were to say something like that. I mean, the outrage would be so immense, we would never hear the end of it. The date of this black guy taco comment would be remembered by the media forever and memorialized. Like, for years after, they would solemnly refer to 8/16, right? We'd have January 6th. Do you remember 8/16? I remember where I was on 8/16. The day of the fried chicken and watermelon taco joke. They would be weeping in the street. They would build statues and memorials to the lives lost because of the taco joke.
I mean, is he wish casting right now? Is that what's going on? That he wants there to be dissent in the streets for this not even offensive joke that, I mean, I don't even know if it was a remark that Kamala Harris made. It's not even offensive. Talking about how there would be statues of people who were killed during this time in our history. What? This guy is unhinged. He is unhinged.
KFC and Kool-Aid companies would come out and denounce Trump over this. So would every watermelon distributor in the country. And we all know that.
Big watermelon's going to come for y'all.
This is another one of those things where, like, there are people that are going to clip this. They're going to take this clip of me saying that the comment from Kamala Harris was anti-white racism, and they're going to try to present it as though it's just, like, on its face absurd.
Yeah. On its face, it's absurd. It's absurd what you're saying. That you're saying that it's anti-white racism, which isn't a thing, and you're trying to make it a thing, but it's not actually a thing. You know, come on, dude, come on. I mean, do they really just don't have anything else? They just gotta bang whatever thing that they can. It's ridiculous. These guys have no imagination.
And yet even they know that what I'm saying is 1,000% true, because you damn well know that comment the other way, it wouldn't even be a discussion about whether it's racist. It would be considered the most racist thing a president has ever done, including the presidents who own slaves.
Is Matt Walsh one of those people that think that slavery was camp? Because it wasn't. It was slavery, which was atrocious and disgusting. And that's probably the most racist thing that any president's ever done, is have slaves. You know, own people, own human beings. And then take their children away from them, rape them, take their children away from them, sell them off to the highest bidder. It's fucking disgusting.
And that's in spite of the fact that the watermelon fried chicken trope for black people is actually significantly less racist than what Kamala said. Because black people have a reputation for liking fried chicken and watermelon, because that's something that actually does come out of black culture. Black comedians make jokes about that kind of stuff all the time.
What? Dude, you just said something very racist. Like, you're like, oh, well, that's okay. We can say that because it's true. What? It's a trope like anything else, right? Just like how, they say women have no directional sense. I personally don't have any directional sense. However, lots of other women do. It's not universal. There are black people who do not like watermelon or fried chicken. It happens, I would not paint them all with that brush. It's disgusting. It's weird. I mean, are they trying to double down on the whole weird thing as much as they possibly can? I'm not so sure that's a winning strategy to show exactly how weird you are.
That sort of joke comes from a place of recognition and affection, really. Like, it's not offensive. There's nothing offensive. Fried chicken's great. Who doesn't like fried chicken? Yeah, it's on the level of like making a joke about how Asian people are good at math. It's like, yeah, it's stereotypical. They're not all good at math, but it's not bad to be good at math. It does come from a place of like, a lot of them are good at math.
Proving himself. Just how stupid he is. Every single comment. Just how dumb he really is. Or at least the character he's playing.
And that is also, it's the kind of thing you listen to an Asian comedian. They'll make those kinds of jokes. On the other hand, the mayonnaise thing for white people it's purely spiteful and hateful. There's not any kind of affection in it. There's not any kind of recognition. It's not something that actually comes from white people or white culture. White people don't actually have any special affinity for mayonnaise. There's not any, like, it doesn't come from, you talk to white people, they're like, you know what, I love mayonnaise. Doesn't happen. It's not a thing. The mayonnaise trope.
The mayonnaise trope. That's right. We got a new trope, everyone. It's the mayonnaise trope. And wow, it's the worst racism we'll ever experience. You know, it's just, I don't know what we're going to do. Our civil liberties are at stake here with this mayo trope. For fuck's sake.
It comes from like the most spiteful corners of Black Twitter. You know, that's where you'll find those kinds of jokes. They'll refer to white people as the mayonnaise people, that kind of thing. I mean, it's a dumb insult. It's really stupid, but it's quite like spiteful. It's just like a hateful, we hate you and don't like you kind of joke.
Okay, maybe I can understand why Matt Walsh would take it this way, because come on, who's liking this guy? Except for other people exactly like him. No one normal is going to like this guy. Only the weird people are going to like this guy. And not weird in a good way. I'm weird in a good way. He's weird in a bad way. You know, you get me? You feel me?
So it is an insult that some black people came up with to make fun of white people. It's not good-natured or friendly or grounded in any kind of affection or recognition at all. So what Kamala said is worse. Like, it's significantly worse, and yet it barely raises an eyebrow.
Because it's not worse, like, even remotely, even kind of. It's not even a little offensive to regular, normal people. Just the weirdos that are on the right that are super racist.
It does, yeah, whatever. And the double standard on these things is so pronounced and so obvious and so in our face and so pervasive that even a lot of conservatives get tired of pointing it out. And I get that. I understand why you get tired of pointing it out, but what's the other option? To just let it go?
We can't have that, can we, Matt? You just can't let something go. Something that's not remotely racist, that you're trying to paint as racist. But when you're painting as racist, you're being actually racist. And what you're saying, though, dude, is absolutely racist.
I can't let it go. I'm not going to let it slide. Like, someone has to point it out. The other option is to just allow it and be okay with it and pretend that it's not happening when we all know that it is. And that's not an option that I find especially, it's not something that I want. I don't find that preferable, that option. So, for what it's worth, I have to point out that's anti-white racism from Kamala Harris. It just is. We all know it. Everyone knows it. Go ahead and deny it. Doesn't matter. You're a freaking liar if you deny it.
Hello, liar here. Yeah, it's not real. It's not real at all. Like, the only person lying here is Matt Walsh. It's what he does for his job. He lies all day, every day. He takes whatever he can see on what's happening on the left and he spins it and makes it into something it really isn't. And the rest of us that aren't on the right, even the people on the right, don't even like it, right? The reason why there's people on the right that aren't saying it is because they know it's bad. And they know that it's not actually racist. They also know there's no such thing as anti-white racism. It's the dumbest thing that the right has ever come up with. Okay, not maybe the dumbest, but one of the dumbest things they've ever come up with. Jesus. Anyway, so let me know what you think in the comments down below. Give me a like. Share this if you want. subscribe, and leave me a comment. Love reading comments. Even if you are a Trump supporter and you're unhinged, I want to read them. Thanks.